and welcoming Mr. Ferguson to our school to speak to you.
To be here this morning. Let's go over some guidelines real quick that I'm just going to go with you. If you have a question, you can feel free to ask. My son passed out a little flyer to you. Just give you a little bit of background on me. I've taught school for 26 years. I've been in corporate America. My claim to fame is I taught a 13-year-old girl how to paint. I taught a 13-year-old girl how to paint. By the time she was 18, we made $1 million. Oprah flew us to Chicago. This is a picture of me and Oprah right after I did her show. I am considered a celebrity artist. This is me and like President Bush, me and Beyonce. I've done work for her. I've done work for a number of different celebrities around the country with my art. But more so than that, what I've been doing is trying to empower young people like you to find your greatness, to find how you too can become that person you choose to be. Well, part of that deals with transformation, transforming your mind, and part of it is transforming your thinking. Last fall, 3 of my students were murdered from Carter High School. 3 of my students were murdered. 3 of my students from Carter High School were murdered. They weren't killed by cops. How many of y'all love the police in here? How many of y'all hate the popo? 5-0 pigs. Can you tell me why? Why you hate them? Why do you hate them? Yes, sir.
I don't hate them, but like I get nervous when I see them because sometimes we don't know if they could arrest our family and stuff.
We don't know if they're going to arrest our family. Why you hate them? Why don't you like them? They're your enemy?
Yeah, some of them just disrespectful. You ain't even got to do nothing. They just treat you wrong.
They'll treat you wrong. Some of them disrespectful. Why? Anybody else? Why you hate the popo? Why you hate 5-0? Anybody else? Okay. What I want you to do as we talk today, I want to talk about transformation. This particular brochure that you guys have right here, this particular brochure shows me when I was almost 300 pounds, February 5th. February 5th of this year. February 5th of this year, I was almost 300 pounds. February 5th of this year, I was almost 300 pounds. I stopped eating because I went to Black Lives Matter and asked Black Lives Matter. I said, I need you guys to march with me because I got 3 students that were killed. I got 3 students that were murdered at a trap. 3 students that were murdered. And I said, will you march with me? They said, no, we are not going to march with you because we only march when the police kills a black person. We're not going to march because they were killed by black on black. And I said, why would you do that? They said, because blacks are going to kill blacks. Whites are going to kill whites. Mexicans are going to kill Mexicans. I said, well, that don't make sense. A mother don't give a damn who pulled the trigger. If her son is dead, all she cares is his life matters. They said, well, that's not statistics, Mr. Ferguson. So I said, I got to protest. I got to do something to let them understand that when a life is lost, a life is lost. Don't matter who did it. Do y'all agree with that? Do y'all agree with that? Do y'all know that since Trayvon Martin, anybody heard of Trayvon Martin? Raise your hand if you heard of Trayvon Martin. Raise your hand if you heard of Trayvon Martin. Trayvon Martin was killed by George Zimmerman. Since Trayvon Martin's death, over 9,000 African Americans have shot or killed other African Americans. Since Trayvon Martin, 9,000 African Americans have shot or killed other African Americans. Do you think there's a value system there? Do you think that the police are the enemy? When blacks are killing blacks, Hispanics are killing Hispanics, whites are killing whites? Are the police the enemy? You ain't got to answer, just marinate on it. Who is your enemy? You got to start defining who your enemy is. Because if you don't, you're going to fight the wrong damn battle. And then you're going to wonder why you don't win. Then you're going to wonder why you're not getting to that next level. Then you're going to wonder why things keep happening over and over again in a cycle. Because you're fighting the wrong damn battle. You've identified the wrong enemy. So you have to begin to see the picture a little bit clearer. You have to begin to define who you are. You have to begin to define your surroundings. So you got to look at what the truth is. Part of the truth that I deal with is words. I love words. Whether it's Dr. King, I Have a Dream, I love words. I love the possibility of words. I love the words that mean life. I love the words that mean freedom. But what I found out was in my research, words are the things that's destroying us. Because words carry perception. If I tell y'all I'm a murderer, will you look at me differently? Will you look at me different if you know that I've killed 5 people? That I did 10 years in prison? I was in San Quentin and I was in Rikers Island. Will that change your perception of me now that you know I'm a murderer? Will you take me seriously? Will you have a little bit of apprehension for me? Now that you know that I've killed it, that your life really don't mean nothing to me? Does that matter to you? Now that you know I'm a murderer? So that word carries some meaning, right? Raise your hand if the word carries meaning. Murderer, it doesn't mean anything. My point to you, words have power, they have a perception with it. The biggest problem we have in our communities is the words. When I look at the Hispanics in here, when I look at the whites in here, and I look at the blacks in here, there's one word that is devastating this country, that's holding back, especially when it comes to black-on-black crime. And now it's affecting the race on race when it comes to Hispanics. And that word is the word nigger. How many of y'all think y'all changed it? Be honest. That when I say nigger, it's the same as nigga. Or do y'all think there are two different words? Nigger is different from nigga. Raise your hand. Is nigga different from nigger? Articulate.
Well, we say nigga because we use that as a slang to talk to people. You talk to your homeboy, you say nigga, like something like that. You know what I'm saying? But like back in the days of slavery and all that, they used to call it niggas. So we don't like if somebody would call me a nigga, I would take that the same way as nigga. You know what I'm saying? But that ain't the same. I don't take it the same way because I feel like nigga like trying to define me as a different person. Like you trying to bring me down. Like say, I don't like it's not the same.
It's not the same. How many of y'all agree with what he said? How many of y'all agree with what he said? Raise your hand high if you agree with what he said. It's not the same. Let me ask you a question. I'm going to give you another brochure. Give everybody one of these. Let me have one real quick. If I don't have enough, I'll give you another. What I want you guys to do is think about it. And I just want to go on, I want you to go on a little journey with me, okay? Everybody go on a journey with me? I want y'all to go on a little journey with me. Go on a little journey with me. Go on a little journey with me, okay? Can we hit the lights for a second? Go ahead. As king, we end as king. We started as kings, we end as kings. What am I saying by that? The biggest challenge that we have right now is the perception everyone here has. If you're Hispanic in here, raise your hand. Do you use the word nigger? Raise your hand. Let me be honest. Raise your hand if you use the word nigger. It's accepted, right? How many of you in here use the word wetback? How many of y'all know what a wetback is? How many of y'all use it? How many of you African Americans know what a wetback is? Why don't you use it? Do you use it?
No.
Okay. Do you know what it is?
Yeah.
Okay. Do you know what it is? Why don't you use it? It's offensive, but the word nigga isn't. Okay, now I'm just asking. I just want y'all to think about it. Just marinate on it for a second. Because see, at the end of the day, what has to happen, is everyone has to find their value. We have to go back to Genesis chapter 1 in the Bible where it says, God created man in his image. Not niggas, pimp, player, fool, dog, G's, wetbacks, not kites, not any of that. What God created in his image was man. You got to find your God-given inheritance. How do you find your God-given inheritance? How do you find that which makes you great, which makes you great, which makes you great? How do you find that which makes you valuable, what gives you purpose? How do you find that? When you look at this transformation that I have on here, I have inside this little brochure. This is me on the cover. I went from 300 pounds to 195 pounds, which I am now. I went 101 days without eating. I went 101 days without eating because I had 3 students murdered. I went 101 days without eating any kind of food. All I did was drink water with lemon, salt. I get Gatorade after I started drinking Gatorade about day 63. I started drinking milk about day 63. I started doing protein shakes about day 63. But up until that time, it was pretty much water. And why did I do it? Because I was willing to die for something. For over 10 years, I tried to lose weight and I couldn't. For 10 years, I tried to transform myself and I couldn't. I even have a 3-year-old daughter. I'm over 50 years old and I got a 3-year-old daughter. Even the birth of my daughter did not allow me to lose weight, knowing that when my daughter Chloe graduates from college, I'm going to be high school, I'm going to be almost 70 years old. But not even that motivated me to change. I had to find a cause greater than myself. You got to find that purpose in you that's going to make you great. Now, I started with kings. Why did I start with kings? Why am I talking about the word nigger? Because the word nigger, and my brother, you eloquently broke it out. In your current culture, the word nigger is accepted. But what I want to do is present a different scenario. I want to talk about transforming your mind to something greater than being a nigger. Do y'all think there's anything greater than being a real ass nigger? What's greater than being a real ass? Because you know, we can be real shit, nigga, I'm real. You know, that's what's up. You know, that's these other motherfuckers, you know what I'm saying? What's being real? educated is being real. What else is being real? What is being real? What is being real? Breathing, freedom, is that real? Is being handcuffed and shackled real? Or is that a false sense of something? When you impaired by drugs, is that real? Because shit, we can get fucked up for this motherfucker. Shit. We can take what we do, we can do what we gotta do. Shit, I feel good. Shit. Is that how we do it? Is that real? Is that reality? Does that put you free? Does that give you the liberty that you want to do and to become? Because it's all about going to that next level. It's all about freedom. It's all about liberty. It's all about being as great as you can be before your family, before God, before everything. Let's go back to nigga. How many of y'all think you a nigga? Raise your hand if you think you're a nigga. N-I-G-G-A. Raise your hand. You think you're a nigga? Okay. How many of y'all, raise your hand, and think that you, the police are your enemy? Raise your hand. Okay, let's talk about that. Okay. The police are your enemy because you're afraid of what they might do. Okay, I told you since Trayvon Martin, over 9,000 African-American males have shot and or killed African-American males. In that same period since Trayvon Martin, there's been roughly 900 police shootings. 9,900. 9,900. Would you rather have $900 or $9,000? $9,000? But we got 9,000 dead right now because other African Americans killed them. See, 400 years ago on the back of this brochure, from day one, how many of y'all know that it seems like white people run everything? Raise your hand. Do you think white people run everything? Raise your hand. What, do you think they do or don't? No, I'm asking you. Do you think white people run pretty much everything? Yeah. Yeah. Why do you think they run everything?
It's the system.
It's the system? What's part of the system? The government? Okay. Run off the government? Money? Off of what they say?
Basically going off.
You're intelligent, love that. Yes.
Basically going off of what the government making us do.
What the government making you do? The government make y'all come here?
No, we made it like basically the government keeps us from like doing what we want to do because like they hold back to rules.
They hold you. Do you think they hold it back?
It's the choices that we make.
It's the choices you make.
Everything that we go to is really the choice.
It's the choice.
It's the choice that's really.
Yes. I love that.
It's been here for a long time, but one thing everybody's trying to get past up and one thing that everybody still held back on is the way we look.
The way we look? Okay. Images shape your reality. Let's talk about this for a second. On the back of this brochure, now make sure Ms. Chappelle give everybody a copy of this. Do you know for over 400 years, we've called the white male a white man? Now I want to go back to Genesis chapter 1, verse 26, where God said in the beginning, let us make man in our image. Let us make man in our image. God said that. And then he said, we're going to give man dominion over all the creatures of the earth. We're going to give man dominion. What is dominion? Power. They're going to dominate. You ever know what it means when somebody dominates you? That means they control you. God said, give man dominion over every creature on the earth. For 400 years, we called the white male a white man. For 400 years, the black male has been called pickaninny, jigaboo, porch monkey, coon, nigger, pimp, player, fool, dog, G. Everything but a man. You haven't accepted your God-given inheritance. Your inheritance is what gives you power. I promise you, when you come around, I've been with President Bush every year. I go to President Bush's house just about. That's me and President Bush there, me and President Bush there, me and Governor Perry there. I deal with millionaire, rich, white Republicans every day. And all they're saying is, what are you bringing to the table? Now, if you bring a nigga mentality, yes, what's up, nigga? That's what's up. They're going to treat you like that. But if you come to them and say, I don't see your color, I'm not dealing with my color, I see you man to man, I'm looking at your captain, I'm looking at that extension of God I see in you, then I see my equal in you. I see that man in you. How does that happen? Well, that's part of you finding your greatness. That's part of you finding your greatness. That's part of you being able to walk on water. Part of that comes from the fact that you have to begin to analyze who you really are as a human being. Part of this presentation is called giving you your humanity back. Well, let's talk about the word nigga for a second. These are the words that we talk about. We talk about this word being separate from this word. Well, see, in order for this to happen, every time somebody who's a racist says the word nigga, you got to make sure they're not saying nigga. So when you see somebody who you think is a racist, and they go, well, what's up, my nigga? Are they racist if they say N-I-G-G-A? Because according to y'all, they're two different words. So if somebody white, racist, Mexican racist, Indian racist come to you and say, what's up, my nigga? What's up, nigga? Which one are they saying? Because y'all saying there's a difference. And I'm trying to get you to understand, and that's the only picture I'm painting for you. Should you even use the damn word? Because you're taking away your own humanity. Even when Hispanics use it. I heard you say a while ago you would not use the word wetback because it's disrespectful. But yet this word is what has hindered us. Because in 1857, everybody with me? 1857, a slave by the name of Dred Scott sued the government saying, me and my children, my wife, we're human beings. We don't want to be slaves. And the Supreme Court said, no, you're only 3/5 of a human. That's why we can make you property. That's why we can make you into an animal. That's why we can chain you and shackle you and kill you and lynch you and do whatever we want to. Because a nigga isn't a human being. So even though you think you've changed this word, do you think the people that control things have changed their perception just because you say it's different? Just because you say niggas is. So when they hear you as a Hispanic use the word nigga, when they hear you as Hispanic, Asian, whatever your race is, you think all of a sudden their value of you increased or decreased. If they're saying a nigga does not have value. You're 3/5 of a human. Let me show you how they play the game with you. Anybody watch Disney cartoons? Anybody heard of Pocahontas? Anybody heard of Pocahontas?
Yeah.
What is that, Native American?
Yep.
Anybody heard of Latin? What is that, India? Anybody heard of Beauty and the Beast? That's French. Anybody seen Cinderella? That's British. Anybody heard of, let's see, there's 2 or 3 other cartoons out there where everybody in it was human, weren't they? Then when they got ready to do a real cartoon about an African fable, they called it Lion King and made everybody in the movie animals. It was the only black cartoon Disney had done, and they made everybody animals. But yet every other nationality were human beings until they got to the Lion King. Do y'all know what a subliminal message is? A subliminal message reinforces a message that's already out there. In other words, if I want you to think you're a nigga or you're an animal, I'm going to show you images that show you a nigga that you're an animal. I'm going to constantly feed you. So even from cartoons, I'm going to show you you're a nigga. And Lion King, one of my favorite movies. Cartoon, full feature length. But it made everybody an animal. Everybody said, well, there's Tatiana. Look at that, she's a princess. But if you watch the movie Tatiana, she was a frog for over an hour of a 90-minute movie. I took my 3-year-old daughter the other day, my 3-year-old daughter, Chloe, I took her to Walmart to buy a doll. And I showed her Doc, the little black doll, Doctor. I showed my daughter, Princess Tiana. She frowned at everyone. I know what she picked out? Cinderella. That effed me up. Because my daughter at 3 years old, images already warped that she has no value. At 3. Because of the images my daughter's seen. So already she's on the downward spiral. So I have to make sure my daughter begins the transformation of finding her own greatness. You've got to begin the transformation of finding your own greatness by looking in the mirror and determining who are you? What's going to make you whatever? I promise you. Because at the end of the day, you've got to begin to seek your greatness. Let's talk about this N-word for a second. Scoot over for a second, Chris. Let me ask y'all a question, Hopeless. Are these niggas? Just answer.
Answer.
Yes or no? Are these niggas?
No.
Okay. Is he a nigga? Okay. Is he a nigga? Damn, it got quiet. Y'all like this shit. Huh? Yeah, well, yeah. Are they niggas? Y'all don't know, y'all, Miss Ferguson, what's the nigga? I said, I don't know now. Are they niggas? Is she a nigga? figure out what this was? Trying to figure out what this is?
Dead bodies.
This is a young man that was murdered. He was called a nigga based on the police report. He was put in the back of this Mustang right here, and the Mustang was set on fire. They stabbed him right here in his joints, twisted the knife. They made it so he was immobile. They set the trunk on fire. This is his torso. The head blew off. He was killed because he was a nigga.
What blew up?
His head. See where the arms are? Who you think killed him, black or white? Black. Because he was a nigga. My 3 students that were murdered last fall were killed by other African Americans because they were considered niggas. Now, I want you to understand the power of the word and the power of our perceptions of each other. Now, this is how niggas are treated. Niggas. Those of y'all that embrace the word and say it's a term of endearment. This is the back of a postcard sent through the United States of America Postal Service. This says, "This is the barbecue we had last night in Hopkinsville, Texas." Anybody being arrested? See, niggas were burned, not human beings. See, a nigga ain't considered a human being. A nigga is considered a piece of property. And they called it a barbecue, and it was sent through the United States of America Postal Service. This is one of the few pictures of a black female you'll see lynched. Her son went to a little corner store. Y'all have corner stores in y'all neighborhoods? Her son went to the corner store, got smart with the white man that owned it, and took off running. White man followed him home, knew who he was, and said, "We were gonna beat his butt, tan his hide." She said, "Well, just wait till my husband get home, he'll take care of it." They said, "No, we're not waiting for anything." And I got another photograph of next to her is her son. They pulled his pants down, cut off his penis, and then they lynched her next to him, because that's how they treat niggas. See, when y'all look at a lot of stuff going on and you wonder why they doing what y'all consider blacks like that, or why they do a nigga like that, because see, this is the history of the word nigga. You ain't told nobody you're a human being yet. See, part of that video that y'all saw the signs where they had "I'm a man," "I'm a man," that happened in 1968, right before Dr. King was murdered. Dr. King went to Memphis, Tennessee, because the sanitation workers were being treated, quote unquote, like niggas. And Dr. King said, "You got to tell the world you're a man. As long as you tell me you're a pimp player, G food dog nigga, you're going to get treated like pimp player, food dog, G dog nigga. You ain't going to get treated like a man." So this lady was killed trying to protect her son. These were just 5 guys walking down the street. They were lynched. Because you could just lynch niggas. You didn't have to have a reason. You didn't have to go to court. You didn't have to do anything. All you had to do was see some quote-unquote niggas and you could kill them. And see, the sad part about it is, white people ain't your problem. Who killing niggas? There was a Hispanic boy just killed, a couple of months ago? A black cop killed a Hispanic boy, thought they were breaking into their apartment, their car, you remember? He came with the police, hit him from behind, some of y'all may even know him, and shot him 3 times in the head. Y'all know what I'm talking about? He's treating him like a nigga. See, the more y'all embrace that word nigga too, guess what? Guess what's gonna happen to y'all? You ain't making a transformation. You're keeping it all the same. You're just taking on the same type. This is what is known in the black community as a picnic. See, a lot of people don't know the word picnic for us meant pick a nigga. Now look at this man lynched. He's dead, right? This little white girl, is she crying? Is she mourning? Is she sad? Is she upset? She's smiling. They're at a picnic. I got a bunch of pictures like this too. Don't think I just got a handful of them. There's a book called Without Sanctuary. It has over 1,000 murders in them of African Americans and others who were lynched during a period where we were considered niggas. So when you hear older people like me saying you're not a nigga, it's because we know your history, and we're saying you better find your humanity. You better find your greatness. You better find that platform which you can stand on. Because if you don't, history will repeat itself. These guys were just lynched. Same reason. These 2 were hung downtown in this particular city. In the middle of the city. because they were niggas. Not human beings, niggas. This brother, not only did they cut his throat, broke his back, because he was considered a nigga. Now I want you to think about how we treat ourselves today. How many of y'all watch hip-hop movies, gangster movies, Minister Society, New Jack City, State Property? What's the first thing we say? Man, fuck these whole ass niggas up in this bitch, man. Click, click, bang, bang, nigga, fuck you. Y'all heard that before?
Yeah.
That shit sound a little real to you? And that's how we talk. I mean, we get all this nigga real right here. Oh, this nigga ain't bullshit. Yeah, that's what's up, nigga. Yeah, excuse me, spit, boo. My point to you is, 400 years ago, racists were killing niggas. Now, we're killing each other and calling each other niggas. So the word nigga is synonymous with death. Not life, not liberty, not freedom, not greatness. Death. So when I see you sisters saying, shit, I'm gonna go get my nigga, shit, my nigga know what's real. My nigga know I love him. See, if you got a nigga, that means you his bitch. See, a man gonna have a what? A woman. A gentleman gonna have a what? A lady. But that thought, that chicken head, words are so powerful. Let's talk about the word hood, and I'm gonna sit down. Let's talk about the word hood. Let's talk about the word hood. Y'all know the word hood comes from the word hoodlum? Y'all know what a hoodlum is? Have y'all heard that word before? A hoodlum was a guy who sold drugs in the community. He was a guy who prostituted your mama, your sister, your daughter. He was one that destroyed your community, a hoodlum. Now we call our communities hood. I ride with the police now because I did this hunger strike. My 3 students were murdered by other African Americans, not by the cops. My brother's assistant chief of police in Hampton, Virginia. My brother will die for every one of y'all in here. That's Major Kenneth Ferguson. He would die for every one of y'all in here. But y'all will hate him first because all you're going to see is his outer shell. The same thing that you say they judge him on. You know that profiling? You would hate my brother before you met him simply because of the fact he got a uniform on, but he would give his life for you. We got to really go back and find our humanity. But I said all that to say at the end of the day, in finding our humanity, we got to make sure that we understand who we are. So what I want to do is, as I get ready, and I'm going to invite James, did James leave? Okay, I saw the post. No, I'm sorry, I'm going to invite Kendrick up. Kendrick is the president of our program over at Carter High School, and he's starting to do motivational speaking also. But he got a powerful story. I don't know how much he's going to tell y'all today. I'm going to come up. But what I want to leave you guys with before I sit down is, you got to figure out who you are. You got to figure out your greatness. You got to figure out, at the end of the day, who's going to define you. Because if you allow yourself to be defined by everything around you, it doesn't work. You'll end up not only in a school like this, I'm going to be honest with you, I actually love this school. Because I work with so many of y'all here. But at the end of the day, you got so much greatness that you can stand on. So much more than this. But you have to be able to define yourself, look in the mirror and say, you know what, I can be anything I want to be. But then you got to put in the work behind it. Oh, it's hard work. I think, even today, I don't know when I've been asleep. But I do my grind. Right now, I have 3 books that's about to be published. I already have 3 books that have been published. I'm working on 3 books currently. I just resigned from DISD. I'm going on a speaking tour. Some of these guys are going to be going with me. I'm doing murals all over the city. I got proposals all over the city. I'm 50-something years old, and I got probably another 1,000 dreams that I'm going to get ready and explore. Why am I dreaming? Because I love the possibilities of what can happen. How many of y'all got dreams? Anybody? What's your dream, brother?
When you miss something, and go back to Mexico and know new people that I got in Europe.
And what are you going to do? Are you going to help them? You're going to bring finance? You're going to bring medicine? You're going to bring hope?
Help them and get them medicine if they need to.
Good. So you got a plan.
Yes.
I love that. What's your dream, sir? Making it out? You know you can do it. I'm from Flint, Michigan. Anybody heard of Flint, Michigan? Anybody heard of Flint, Michigan? The water, that's where I'm from. My mother and my father just flew in this morning. Just picked them up at the airport this morning. They just flew in from Flint. My son Christopher is graduating Saturday. That's my son Chandler. Chandler won a $250,000 scholarship to TCU. He's a film student, academic. Now, I raised my sons. I'm a guy that received child support. I received child support. Yeah, I'm that good. I fought for my sons. I raised all three. My oldest son is 26. My youngest one is, well, I got 26, 21, 18, and I got a 14-year-old, and I got a 3-year-old daughter. Now, I do pay child support too for my baby Chloe, and I gladly pay for Chloe. I don't have a problem with it. That's my heart. That's the only daughter I have. But I take care of my sons. That's part of my joy. So do I get mad that I pay child support? Man, I ain't paying that bitch all this money shit. Is that what I do? Or do I just work more? I got dreams. I'm not finna stuff my dreams so I don't have to pay child. I'm just gonna work more. I'm gonna write more books. I'm gonna go speak more. I'm gonna do more so that I can make sure that my daughter has a certain quality of life. Don't you deserve it? Don't you deserve it? Okay. So at the end of the day, what I want y'all to do, and I'm having to wrap this up, I want you guys to really think about some of the things we talked about, because, see, using the word nigger, here's part of the problem. Using the word nigger, especially with kids, it's like, I hear so many people say, well, white person called me a nigger, I call him a cracker. I call him a redneck. I call him what's the other, hunky?
Yeah.
How many of y'all think that's bad? Well, let me explain something to you. Let me just break down cracker for you. You know white people don't get offended necessarily at cracker. Do you know where that word came from? How many of y'all know? Some of y'all know, right? See, when the slave master would come through the fields, he would either have the whip or he wouldn't. If he had the whip, what happens is when I hit you with that whip, it made a crackling sound. So if he had the cracker, that means you had to work harder. So the word cracker simply meant the slave master had the whip. Here come the cracker, here come the cracker, here come the cracker. So they work harder. If he didn't have a cracker, he just ride his horse to it, they just kind of, you know, pick their cotton a little slow because the sun was hot to them too. So is there equivalent or is there any equality to nigger and cracker? Hunky? We can break down hunky, redneck, going. There's nothing to it. They don't even match. How many crackers, rednecks, and hunkies were lynched, murdered, raped, enslaved? Look at the power of that word that you guys are using. Going back to the word hood. Once you take out the word neighbor, y'all know what the greatest commandment, the second greatest commandment is in the Bible? Love thy neighbor as thyself. God said that's the second greatest commandment. And we took the word neighbor out. So if you took the word neighbor out, what did you take out? Love. You took out God. You took out forgiveness. You took out relationship. So when we say, man, shit, I'm going to the hood, you elevating that hoodlum thing. You elevating that thing that is negative and bad. So we wonder why all the crap going on in the hood, everybody killing in the hood, and the hood is so bad. You're empowering a very dangerous word like the word nigger. The word nigger is synonymous with death. The word hood is synonymous with death, destruction. So you got to understand the power of words. Our faith is based on words. What you say, so every man speaketh, so is he. So every man thinketh, so is he. We can talk about transformation, words. Everything about you is about power. And you're either giving it or you're giving it away. You're either receiving it and you're embracing it. Like when I hear people say they embrace the word nigga, you're embracing death. When you embrace the hood, this is my hood, you die for your hood and you rent it. You're going to die for a place where you rent it. No. Find your greatness. I want y'all to give